Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're uncovering the mystery behind the 1971 D Lincoln penny and why some people think it could be worth serious cash. We'll discuss the unique features, errors, and things to look out for that can make this coin incredibly valuable to collectors. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's take a closer look. First, let's get a bit of background. The 1971 D penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and like other Lincoln pennies, it features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front side, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. The D mint mark is small but important, located right below the date. In 1971, millions of these pennies were produced, making it a fairly common coin for the time. The Denver Mint, which first started minting coins in 1906, is known for its precision, but like any mint, some coins with slight imperfections slip through. And sometimes, those imperfections end up being worth a lot more than the face value of the coin. So, why is the 1971 D penny even a topic of conversation among coin collectors today? With so many minted, most of them are worth, well, just a penny. However, there are certain characteristics that make some of these coins way more valuable. Condition and grading. First, condition is crucial. Coins in near-perfect condition, graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, at a high MS, mint state, level, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Error coins. Error coins are some of the most sought after in the world of numismatics. For the 1971 D penny, collectors look for unique minting errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, that make each coin one of a kind. Unique variations. Some pennies also carry unusual markings or minting inconsistencies that make them rare. For instance, doubling on the obverse or reverse could increase the value significantly. Alright, let's dive into the specific errors you might find on a 1971 D penny that could make it worth more than a penny. Here are some errors to look for. Errors that can make your 1971 D penny valuable. Double die error occurs when the die strikes the coin twice, causing some of the letters or details to appear doubled. On a 1971 D penny, this can usually be seen on words like liberty or in God we trust. Double die errors are rare and can increase a coin's value into the hundreds or even thousands. An off-center strike is when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, resulting in a portion of the design missing from the coin. While slight off-centers aren't very valuable, extreme off-center strikes, with about 10 to 20% of the design off the edge, can be highly collectible. Another unique feature some collectors hunt for is a repunched mint mark. This happens when the D mint mark is stamped twice, slightly off from the first strike, giving a doubled look. RPM errors on the 1971 D penny can add to its collector's value. Lastly, the color of the penny matters. Collectors love what they call red condition pennies, where the copper retains its original color. The 1971 D pennies graded MS 65 red or higher by PCGS or NGC are scarce and have sold at auctions for hundreds or even over $1,000. So, let's talk about money. How much can these coins actually be worth? While there are no verified sales of a 1971 D penny for millions, let's look at the realistic market values. On recent auction sites, here's what we've seen for the 1971 D penny average condition. Most 1971 D pennies in circulated condition without any errors are worth about face value, 1 cent. High-grade red condition, these can fetch anywhere from $10 to a few $100s. In some rare cases, they've even sold for over $1,000 if the condition is impeccable. Error coins, double die, RPM error pennies, especially double die or RPM varieties, can sell for a wide range, anywhere from $100 to upwards of $500 or even $1,000 if the condition is top-notch. It's exciting to imagine finding a valuable coin in your change, but remember, only coins in excellent condition or with rare errors will bring in the big bucks. Are you a collector, or maybe you just found a 1971 D penny in your pocket? Here are a few final tips on what to do if you think you've got a rare one. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the letters and numbers, and look closely at the mint mark. You might spot an error that's hard to see with the naked eye. If you think your coin is in top condition, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you an official grade, which can increase its resale value. Keep your coin in a protective case to preserve its condition. Coins exposed to the elements can lose value over time, especially copper coins like the Lincoln penny. Look up current market values on auction sites to get an idea of what collectors are paying for similar coins. It's a great way to see if it's worth selling or holding on to. We're diving into the fascinating story of a coin you've probably seen a million times, the 1982 Lincoln penny. But this is not your ordinary penny, it's one that has become extremely valuable, with some going for tens of thousands and, yes, even millions. You heard me right. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket worth $56 million. Sounds crazy, right? But there's an incredible story behind it, so let's break down what makes this penny so special, how to recognize it, and why collectors are going wild over it. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909 and is still the most recognizable coin in the United States. However, in 1982, the U.S. Mint faced a big problem. Copper prices were rising, and making pennies with copper was becoming way too expensive. So, they had to make a change. In 1982, the U.S. Mint decided to switch from using primarily copper to a much cheaper metal composition for pennies, zinc, with just a thin copper coating. This change happened partway through the year, meaning that pennies minted in 1982 were made in two different ways, some with the original copper composition and others with the new copper-coated zinc. So, what does that mean for collectors? Well, there are actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny, which include both large and small dates in both copper and zinc. Here's a quick breakdown. The key difference between these varieties is the date size, large or small, and the metal composition, copper or zinc. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these varieties are significantly rarer than others, especially when it comes to copper pennies made at the Denver Mint, which are marked with a D. The one that really excites collectors is the 1982 D small date copper penny. In fact, for a long time, people believed this coin didn't even exist. Why? Because the U.S. Mint had reportedly switched entirely to zinc for the Denver coins by the time they started minting the small date variety. But in recent years, a few 1982 D small date copper pennies have been discovered, turning the coin collecting world upside down. It's the coin that no one thought should exist, but here it is, and it's worth a fortune. Experts believe that only a handful of these coins were accidentally struck in copper, making it incredibly rare. The few confirmed finds of this coin have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, but it's estimated that if a perfectly preserved, or mint condition, 1982 D small date copper penny were to go up for auction, it could easily fetch millions. In fact, some experts estimate the current market value of a pristine specimen at $56.40 million. So, how can you identify a potentially valuable 1982 penny? Here's what you need to look for. Check the date and mint mark. You're looking specifically for a 1982 D small date. The D mint mark is essential, as this penny was minted in Denver. The coin copper pennies from 1982 weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh just 2.5 grams. If you have a small scale at home, this is the easiest way to tell if you have a copper penny. Observe the date style. The small date features a thinner and more compact 2 and 8, while the large date looks thicker. Make sure to check photos of both to spot the difference easily. Look for grading quality. Higher grade coins are always worth more, and a mint condition 1982 D small date copper penny could fetch astronomical amounts. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can provide an official grade. If you think your coin is valuable, you might be wondering, what's driving up the price of this tiny penny? First and foremost, it's all about rarity. The fewer coins there are, the more collectors are willing to pay for them. For years, collectors assumed the 1982 D small date copper penny was just a rumor, and its rarity was almost mythical. Now that they know it exists, it's a treasure hunt for the ages. Beyond that, there's the thrill of owning something unique. With the number of coin collectors on the rise, there's a huge demand for unique finds. The thrill of owning a 1 in a million coin, literally, is something that drives people to pay huge amounts. So, what's the current market value for a 1982 small date copper penny? Well, it's estimated at up to $56.4 million for a pristine example. However, more commonly found varieties of the 1982 penny, like the 1982 large date copper or zinc, can be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on condition. But remember, the value of the rare 1982 small date copper penny could climb even higher as more collectors enter the market. Right now, it's one of the most valuable coins in existence, thanks to its rarity and collector demand. So, next time you get some change, take a good look at those pennies. You might just find a fortune hiding in plain sight. Remember to check the mint mark, date style, and weight. Who knows, maybe you'll be the lucky one to find a 1982 small date copper penny worth millions. Imagine telling that story. We're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins in US currency, the 1983 Lincoln cent. This unassuming penny, if you're lucky enough to have the right one, could be worth a fortune. Alright, so let's start with a little history on the 1983 Lincoln cent. First of all, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the main mints for US coins. The 1983 pennies are especially significant in the numismatic world because they were part of a huge transition for US currency. Just a year before, in 1982, the US Mint switched the composition of pennies from mostly copper to a zinc core with a copper coating. This change was made to save money since copper prices were on the rise, and using less copper meant cheaper production costs. So, 1983 pennies, both from Philadelphia and Denver, are actually mostly zinc, with a thin layer of copper on the outside. But why are collectors so excited about the 1983 penny, specifically? Here's the thing, most 1983 pennies aren't worth more than their face value. However, there are some rare varieties and errors that can be worth big money. Let's dive into what you should look for in a 1983 penny to know if it's valuable or not. So, the main reasons a 1983 penny could be valuable are high-grade condition, rare mint errors doubling, especially on the reverse. Let's break these down. First up, high-grade condition. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70 by organizations like the PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A 1983 penny in a top grade, such as MS-68 or higher, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, as it's incredibly hard to find one without any scratches, dings, or blemishes. In fact, in MS-69, a near-perfect grade, one 1983 penny sold for over $5,000 in recent years. Why? Because of its pristine condition and rarity at that grade level. Next, let's talk about mint errors. In 1983, the US Mint produced millions of pennies, which means quality control issues can lead to some interesting, valuable errors. Some known errors on 1983 pennies include off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, cut errors, where part of the design is missing due to a broken die cracks and chips. These can sometimes add value if they're especially noticeable or unique. Any of these errors can increase a penny's value depending on the size and visibility of the error. Certain error coins in great condition have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars. Now, here's one of the holy grails of valuable pennies, the double die reverse. This error happens when the coin's design is struck twice but slightly off, creating a doubled effect that can be seen on the coin's details. In 1983, this doubling is often seen on the reverse side, particularly in the words United States of America and 1 cent. A double die reverse error on a 1983 penny can fetch up to $15,000 if it's in great condition. This makes it one of the most sought-after variations among modern Lincoln cents. Now, let's address some of the rumors floating around. You may have seen claims online or in social media posts about a 1983 D penny being worth $62.4 million. While it's true that rare coins can be worth millions of dollars, there's currently no 1983 D penny with that kind of value. This coin's highest prices come from a combination of mint errors and high grades, but even then, the maximum value seen is closer to the $10,000 to $15,000 range. Don't get me wrong, $10,000 is a lot of money for a penny. But the $62.4 million price tag is a myth. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1983 D penny and you think it might be valuable, here's what you should do: check the condition. If it's clean and free of scratches or damage, you're off to a good start. Look for errors, examine the coin closely, especially the reverse side, to see if there are any doubling, misstrikes, or other unusual features. Get it professionally graded. For high-grade or error coins, a professional grading can verify its authenticity and value. This can cost anywhere from $20 to $100, but it's well worth it if you have a potentially valuable coin. Research recent sales. Check recent auction sales on sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions to get an idea of what similar coins have sold for recently. Market values for coins can vary a lot depending on demand and condition. So there you have it, the truth about the 1983 D Lincoln penny. It's always exciting to think that you might have a hidden gem in your pocket change, but remember that not every 1983 D penny will make you rich. If you think you found something special, take a closer look, and who knows, you might have a collector's dream in your hands. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a simple coin that could hold immense value. So, how does a penny end up worth potentially $48.4 million? What should you look for, and how can you tell if your 1985 penny is a hidden treasure? Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal all the details. To understand what makes the 1985 Lincoln penny unique, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the penny has had various changes over the years, from the original wheat reverse to the current Lincoln Memorial and Shield designs, but 1985 holds a special place in numismatics, or coin collecting, due to some unique errors and minting quirks that have made a select few of these pennies highly valuable. So, why is the 1985 Lincoln penny specifically drawing attention? Two reasons: rare minting errors and exceptionally well-preserved high-grade specimens. In 1985, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, but like any mass production process, there were occasional mistakes. These mint errors are what collectors search for because they make a coin rare and valuable. For the 1985 penny, some of the most sought-after errors include double dies, missing or off-center designs, and other minor anomalies that set these coins apart. The rarity and uniqueness of these errors increase the value tremendously. Alright, let's get specific. What should you be looking for if you're trying to identify a valuable 1985 penny? Here are the main features that could make your penny worth a small fortune. Double die obverse. A double die is one of the most famous types of errors, where part of the coin's design appears twice on the same side, usually with noticeable doubling in letters or numbers. Look closely at the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Any doubling could mean you've got a special coin. Off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is struck incorrectly, with the design appearing shifted or cut off. Even a small percentage off-center can add value, while coins that are over 50% off-center can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Filled die errors. Sometimes the die, or the tool that strikes the coin, gets filled with grease or debris, resulting in missing or blurry areas on the penny. This type of error may not be immediately visible, so take a closer look at Lincoln's profile and the mint date. Grading and condition of the coin. Display different grades of coins, from well-worn to pristine condition. Narrator. Now, let's talk about the importance of condition, or what's called the grade in coin collecting. Even without errors, a coin's condition can significantly impact its value. The grading system ranges from poor to mint state, MS 70. For the 1985 penny, coins in near perfect condition, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, are incredibly rare and valuable. One penny graded MS-68 sold for a substantial amount, and as the coin market grows, the demand for high-grade coins increases. Segment 5, the $1 Million Penny. Understanding the $48.4 million rumor, overlay text, $48.4 million, why so high? Narrator, now, let's address the big number you've probably seen, the idea that an error penny or rare specimen from 1985 could be worth an astonishing $48.4 million. That number comes from extreme speculation and demand from rare coin collectors, who know that the right error coin in perfect condition could easily reach into the millions. While it's highly unlikely for a 1985 penny to sell at that price, it shows the immense potential for rare pennies on the market. Most likely, a highly valuable 1985 penny would fall into the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars range, still an incredible amount for a coin worth just 1 cent. Ready to check your own 1985 penny? Here's a step-by-step on how to get it valued. Inspect it for visible errors. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for double dies, off-center strikes, or any other visible error. Consider the condition. Even if you don't see an error, a pristine condition 1985 penny could still be worth a lot. Be cautious when handling it to avoid scratching or damaging the surface. Professional grading. For a true valuation, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll assess its condition and certify its grade, adding value if it's in a top tier. Check recent sales. Coin values fluctuate, so look at recent auction sales to get an idea of what similar coins are selling for. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Stack's Bowers often list rare pennies and their final selling prices. So, could that 1985 penny in your drawer be worth life-changing money? The answer is, possibly. With some coins fetching thousands or even millions, it's worth taking a closer look. And remember, even if you don't hit the jackpot, every penny has a story. The thrill of discovering valuable coins like these keeps collectors coming back for more, turning small change into big rewards. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into hidden treasures you might have lying around. And who knows, maybe one of those pennies will turn out to be a true goldmine. See you next time. We're diving into something incredible, the 1987 Lincoln penny. Yes, that's right, a single-cent coin from 1987 that could be worth way more than its face value. We're going to break down what makes this penny so special, the types of rare variations and errors to look out for, and why collectors are willing to pay big bucks. I'm talking millions. So, if you've ever thought about digging through your change, stick around. Let's start with a quick background. The 1987 Lincoln cent, minted by the U.S. Mint, is part of the well-known Lincoln Memorial series. These pennies, bearing the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with no major design changes or unusual circumstances surrounding production. Cue visuals of a basic 1987 Lincoln penny with close-ups of front and back designs, but there's more to this simple penny than meets the eye. What makes it stand out is the value some collectors place on this coin. Most of us would never think a penny could be worth anything more than, well, a penny. But sometimes, coins like these hold secrets that can turn them into true treasures. Now, before we get into errors and rarities, let's talk about why some 1987 pennies are worth so much. Over the past few decades, coin collecting has seen a huge rise in popularity. Today, collectors pay top dollar for coins that have unique characteristics, whether it's an error in the minting process, pristine quality, or simply the rarity. Show visuals of coin auctions, enthusiastic bidders, and auction prices soaring, and get this, some pennies, even as recent as 1987, can go for jaw-dropping prices if they meet certain criteria. One rumored value circulating about a 1987 penny is an astounding $42.4 million. Now, that may be an exaggeration for dramatic effect, but some rare pennies indeed fetch big bucks. So, let's break down what would make a 1987 penny worth a fortune. Narrator: alright, here's where things get interesting. One of the biggest reasons a coin can skyrocket in value is due to minting errors. So what kinds of errors should you look for on a 1987 penny? Close-up of different types of errors: double die, off-center strikes, etc. Double die errors. A double die error occurs when a coin's design is stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect, usually on the text or Lincoln's face. If you find one of these, that penny could be worth much more than face value. Off-center strikes. Another error is the off-center strike. If the design isn't fully centered and part of the coin's design is missing, that's a mistake from the mint that collectors love. Die cracks and cuts. Sometimes, the die that stamps the coin will crack, creating lines or extra pieces on the coin that weren't part of the original design. These add even more uniqueness. Show examples or digital renderings of these errors for clarity. These mint errors are rare and very collectible, and while not all error pennies fetch millions, a high-grade error coin could still bring you thousands of dollars. Another crucial factor in a coin's value is its condition, or what collectors call the coin's grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Coins with a grade of 67 or higher are extremely rare and can fetch a premium, especially if they are error coins. Show images or video footage of coins in various conditions and grading charts. If you have a 1987 penny in nearly perfect, uncirculated condition, it could be worth hundreds, if not thousands. But remember, the condition is key. Even a tiny scratch or ding can lower the grade, and, unfortunately, the price. Narrator: so, where does this $42.4 million figure come from? While there's no verified sale at that level, the concept isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Rare and highly sought-after coins have made history before. Cue visuals of auction records, news articles about high-priced coin sales. Take, for example, the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, which sold for $10 million in 2013. When collectors value a coin due to rarity, condition, or a unique error, prices can be astronomical. However, number 1987 penny has been documented at that level, but who knows? If the right combination of rarity and condition emerges, anything is possible in the world of coin collecting. Narrator: now that you know what makes these pennies so special, let's talk about what you can do. Here are some steps to see if your 1987 penny is valuable. Inspect carefully. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect the penny. Look for errors, unusual markings, and the overall condition. Check for mint marks. Mint marks can also add value. For the 1987 penny, look for P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. Consider professional grading. If you think you have a valuable coin, consider sending it to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. For an official grade, provide images or video of someone inspecting a penny, checking mint marks, and filling out paperwork for grading services. And remember, the thrill is in the hunt. Even if you don't find $1 million penny right away, you could still come across something valuable and collectible. It's all about patience and persistence. So, to wrap it up, the 1987 Lincoln penny might just be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. While the $42.4 million rumor adds excitement, the truth is that many pennies are worth much more than their face value if they have unique qualities or errors. Remember, checking your change could pay off big. We're diving into the world of coin collecting and the surprising hidden value in what you may think is just a regular penny. That's right. There's a specific 1990 Lincoln penny that collectors are going wild over, and believe it or not, it's worth a jaw-dropping, wait for it, $36.40 million. So, what's so special about this coin? How can you spot one yourself? And, could you be holding one right now? The background story: why a 1990 penny. To understand why this 1-cent coin has such a staggering value, we need to go back to 1990. In the coin world, it was a fairly average year. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies that year, like any other. But, one variation among them has left collectors and investors absolutely stunned. The 1990 Lincoln penny design itself isn't unique, it features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But the coin we're talking about is no ordinary penny. In fact, it's what collectors refer to as the no-S-proof penny, which means it lacks a specific mint mark. What makes this coin so special? Let's break down what makes this penny special. Most proof coins minted in San Francisco have an S mint mark, indicating they were created at the San Francisco Mint. But this particular 1990 penny, a very rare proof coin, was produced without that S mint mark. The absence of this tiny S turns it from a regular proof coin to a highly valuable collector's item. It's believed that only about 200 of these no-S-proof pennies were ever made, making them incredibly scarce. And when it comes to coin collecting, rarity and condition are everything. Scarcity can turn even the most unassuming penny into a treasure worth millions. Current market value, $36.4 million. So, you're probably wondering, how did this tiny error turn into a value of $36.4 million? Well, here's the breakdown. Recently, a perfect condition, no-S-proof 1990 penny sold for an astonishing amount at auction, putting its value at a record-breaking $36.4 million. For comparison, that's more than the average price of a mansion. Collectors are willing to pay this price due to the rarity and condition of these coins. The 1990 no-S-proof Lincoln penny has become one of the holy grails of coin collecting. It's like winning the lottery but with a coin that's been hiding in plain sight. How to identify a 1990 no-S-proof Lincoln penny? Alright, now that we know how valuable this penny is, let's talk about how you can identify one yourself. If you have any old proof sets or collections from 1990, here's what to look for. Proof condition. First, make sure your penny has a high gloss, mirror-like finish, which is typical of proof coins. Absence of the S mint mark. Next, look on the front of the coin, just below the date. If your coin is missing the S mark, that's a huge indicator that you've got something special. Original proof set packaging. If your coin is still in its original proof set packaging from 1990, it might be more valuable. Authenticity can be key. If you're lucky enough to have one of these no-S-proof Lincoln pennies, what's next? How do you turn it into millions? Get it authenticated. First, have it certified by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. This certification can increase its value by proving it's the real deal. Auction houses. Once authenticated, the next step is to auction it off. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers have experience handling high-value coins and can help you get the most out of your penny. Consider private collectors. Sometimes private collectors might make direct offers, which can be even more lucrative than auctions. But remember, certification and condition are key to getting top dollar. Final tips for coin collectors and enthusiasts. Before we wrap up, here are some final tips for all you treasure hunters out there. Collecting rare coins can be an exciting and rewarding hobby, and who knows? You could be holding a hidden fortune and not even know it. Check your old coins, dig through old proof sets, and double-check those 1990 pennies. You might just have one sitting around. Protect your finds. Store your coins safely in a cool, dry place to preserve their condition. A scratch or blemish can decrease the value, especially for proofs. Stay updated. Follow auction results and collectors' forums, so you stay informed on current values. You'd be surprised how quickly values can change in the collector's market. And if you want to learn more about other rare coins or the fascinating history of coin collecting, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're diving into a topic that's got collectors and enthusiasts buzzing. The 2002 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin you might overlook, could be worth much more than its face value. Is it really possible that a penny from 2002 could be worth millions? And what makes some of these pennies so valuable? Stick around, because we're about to break down everything you need to know about the value of the 2002 Lincoln penny, what errors and conditions can increase its worth, and what the market value is today for some of the rarest and most expensive pennies out there. First things first, let's talk about the basics of the 2002 Lincoln penny. This penny was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The design features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The penny is made of copper-plated zinc, just like every other penny minted since 1982. Its face value is, of course, only 1 cent, but its real value can depend on a variety of factors, which we're about to get into. When it comes to coin collecting, the value of a coin is rarely just about its age. Instead, collectors are interested in factors like rarity, condition, mint errors, and historical significance. Let's go over these factors one by one. The overall condition of a coin is one of the biggest factors. For pennies, the highest grade is mint state 70, meaning the coin is absolutely flawless under 5x magnification. Coins in mint state are valued higher than those that show any wear. Even slight wear can bring down the value of a coin drastically. Another major factor is how rare the coin is. Even though millions of 2002 pennies were minted, certain types can be rare because of specific errors or variations. Here's where things get interesting. Some 2002 pennies have errors that make them unique and extremely valuable. A misprint, a doubled die, or other unusual markings can make a penny worth thousands or even millions of dollars. We'll dive deeper into these error types shortly. Demand in the market. Finally, the coin's value is influenced by market demand. When a particular coin becomes popular among collectors, its price can skyrocket. High-value error pennies, why some sell for millions now. Let's talk about those errors. Some of the most valuable pennies are the ones that have unique mistakes from the minting process. Here are some specific errors you should keep an eye out for. Double die errors. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die. This error occurs when the die, the stamp used to imprint the coin, shifts between strikes, resulting in a doubled appearance on certain parts of the design. For the 2002 penny, this can appear on areas like Liberty or In God We Trust. If you come across a doubled die 2002 penny, you're looking at a coin that could be worth a lot more than 1 cent off-center strikes. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned with the die, causing the image to be misaligned or even cut off. The more off-center the strike, the rarer, and potentially more valuable, the penny. This error gets its name from a small die crack that sometimes appears between the B and the E in Liberty, making it look like there's an extra letter, I, in between. This error may seem small, but collectors often seek out pennies with these unusual quirks. So, where does this $26.4 million figure come into play? While it's not common, rare coins, especially pennies, have been known to reach sky-high prices in auction. The highest price ever for a penny was in the multi-millions for a rare 1943 copper penny. While it wasn't specifically a 2002 penny, this proves that pennies can sell for incredible prices if they are rare enough and in demand. As of today, a 2002 Lincoln penny with a high-value error like a double die or off-center strike can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several $1,000s, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. So if you're lucky enough to have a 2002 penny with these types of errors in mint state condition, you could be holding on to something incredibly valuable. If you have any 2002 pennies lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass or loupe and inspect it for any unusual features or errors. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the Lincoln Memorial design on the back. You might just be looking at a valuable coin. To sum it all up, the 2002 Lincoln penny may not typically be worth $26.4 million, but certain rare versions or error pennies could be worth thousands. So, always check your pocket change carefully. We're talking about a modern treasure, the 2019 Lincoln penny that's got collectors' eyes wide open. Could you have one worth millions in your pocket right now? Let's find out. Yep, you heard that right. Some of these pennies from 2019 are skyrocketing in value, with certain rare pieces estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $17.4 million. So let's jump into what makes this Lincoln penny special and why it's drawing so much attention on the market. Before we jump to 2019, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for over a century, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has evolved, but it remains one of the most iconic coins in American history. For most of its life, the Lincoln penny featured the famous wheat ears design, until 1959 when it switched to the Lincoln Memorial. Fast forward to 2010, and we got the shield reverse design we see today. The 2019 penny, however, had a few unique twists that make it different from just any modern Lincoln cent. Let's dig into why. So what is it about the 2019 Lincoln penny that has made it so highly sought after? It's actually a combination of two things: low mintage on special collector coins and the discovery of incredibly rare errors on these coins. In 2019, the U.S. Mint released a very limited run of W mintmark pennies. That's right, the same mintmark used on premium coins, coming from the West Point Mint. This is a huge deal because pennies don't usually come from West Point, making these some of the first modern pennies with a W mark. This alone would be enough to get collectors interested. The 2019 W penny came in three variations: proof, reverse proof, and uncirculated, each released in a different set to commemorate 2019 as the Mint's year of the penny. And as collectors know, when it comes to value, rarity and condition are king. Coins graded MS69 or MS70, the highest possible grades, are the most valuable. These grades indicate a near-perfect coin, a flawless piece straight from the mint with no signs of wear or damage. Some of these high-grade pennies are trading hands at over $1,000 due to their rarity and perfect condition. Now, I know what you're thinking: what's this about a 2019 Lincoln penny worth $17.4 million? There have been rumors and claims about this massive value spike, but as of now, it's mostly speculation. Certain error pennies, combined with the perfect grade and a W mintmark, are bringing in big bucks, but the $17 million mark might be a stretch. It's crucial to understand that the rumored value could stem from the potential that some collectors place on unique, historic errors. Some estimate that if a 2019 penny with a major, confirmed error in flawless condition ever surfaced, it could hypothetically go for astronomical prices at auction. But for now, those $17 million price tags are mostly theoretical, fueled by excitement over what could happen if a truly one-of-a-kind piece entered the market. So let's bring it back to reality a bit. Right now, if you have a 2019 W penny in perfect condition, MS70, its value can reach up to $1,000, maybe more, depending on demand. Even lower-graded coins in MS68 or MS69 are pulling in hundreds of dollars from collectors and investors alike. Overall, the value of these coins has steadily risen, as more collectors recognize the 2019 pennies as unique items of interest. And who knows, if you hold on to it long enough, it could very well increase in value over time. If you're lucky enough to find a 2019 W penny, here's how you can check if it's a high-value piece. Look at the surface for scratches, wear, or any imperfections. Ideally, use a magnifying glass or coin loop to examine it closely. Once you've done a self-assessment, consider sending it off to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can maximize your coin's value and confirm its rarity for future buyers. And that's all for today's treasure hunt, folks. If you've got a 2019 Lincoln penny, be sure to check it out. Who knows, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on valuable coins and collectibles. Drop a comment if you think you found a rare penny, or let us know which coins you want us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting.